Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back on day 8 of the 12 Days of Christmas. The film I'll be reviewing today is one hell of a movie, titled One Hell of a Christmas. Now, you might have noticed this movie was not included on my original 12 Days of Christmas list. I decided to watch this one instead of another one. No one ever talks about this one, so I thought it deserved some attention. One Hell of a Christmas is a 2002 Fangoria film. Remember when Fangoria released movies? Well, this is one of them. In fact, this is probably the least mentioned Fangoria film of the bunch, which is why I ultimately decided to review it for the 12 Days of Christmas. One Hell of a Christmas is about a guy named Carlitos who just spent 2 years in prison. He is released just before Christmas, and he can't wait to see his son. His son is 5 years old, and obviously Carlitos hasn't seen him in a couple of years. He assures everyone, including himself, that he will be a better dad now that he's out of jail. Soon after his release, he meets up with his best friend Mike. Mike seems to be a bad influence on Carlitos, and Carlitos points this out to him. However, he's still his friend. It's also quite hilarious, so I have to mention the fact that despite being Carlitos' best friend, Mike always pronounces his name differently, calling him Carlitos, Carlito, and even Carlitos. Besides meeting up with Mike, one of the first things Carlitos does when getting out of jail is go shopping for Christmas presents for his son. One of the gifts he buys him is a giant wolf stuffed animal named Wolfie, which we are to assume is a popular TV character. I'm mentioning this for a reason. You'll see. Back at Carlitos' house, Mike arrives with a proposition. He has obtained a strange item that he says will make them rich. It's a claw, but actually looks like a long black fingernail. The claw releases a strange ash, which is then snorted up the nose, making whoever does it powerful. It's basically black cocaine, or devil dust. A night of bad decision-making on Christmas Eve leads Carlitos right back to his old ways. A prostitute dies at his hands, and Mike helps him bury her in the backyard. But the Claw, which was also an alternate title for this movie, also unleashes something else. It's a strange force, or spirit, which possesses the dead prostitute's body. And just like that, she's alive again, and after Carlitos for revenge. I couldn't help but be reminded of The Evil Dead when I first saw her. As a matter of fact, the way the spirit is filmed traveling from one place to another reminds me exactly of The Evil Dead. After possessing the dead body of the prostitute, the spirit jumps into Wolfie, the giant stuffed animal. And, you guessed it, Wolfie comes to life, attacking Carlitos. The next stop for the demonic spirit is a poster on Carlitos' wall of a cowboy from a movie. And the cowboy comes to life, hell-bent on killing Carlitos. Even an electronic, dancing, musical Santa Claus is possessed. I have to say, this whole sequence was very fun. It was pretty awesome seeing what the spirit would possess next. There's much more to it, but that's probably where I'll end this synopsis. So, how do I feel about One Hell of a Christmas? Well, I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would when I first started watching it. I mean, the acting was terrible. Atrocious in some cases. But I obviously wasn't expecting much in that area. The effects were adequate, I guess you could say. Despite being filmed and, what I could guess, set in California, it actually had a decent Christmas atmosphere, simply because there were a lot of Christmas decorations, including Christmas trees, Christmas lights, decorative Santas. I liked that. They are also sure to mention throughout the film that it's Christmas, which is actually sort of important to the plot. At first, I could definitely see the inspiration of The Evil Dead, as I mentioned earlier. But by the time the movie ended, it completely felt like a Hellraiser film. Replace the claw with the lament configuration, add Pinhead, and this is a Hellraiser sequel. There is even a devil character, who may as well have just been Pinhead. The end of the film takes place in hell, the underworld, and it looks exactly like the labyrinth in Hellbound Hellraiser 2. That's probably why I ended up liking this movie much more by the end. One Hell of a Christmas definitely gets points for being unique. I mean, sure, it's not completely original. There are other storylines like it. As I just said, the Evil Dead and Hellraiser films come to mind. But it's in the execution. What other film has black cocaine? Someone was definitely snorting the devil dust when they made this one. But hey, I liked it. So tell me guys, have you seen One Hell of a Christmas? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. And be sure to check back tomorrow to see what I watch and review for day 9 of the 12 Days of Christmas. Also, don't forget to check out everyone else participating. Thanks for watching guys. Be kind. Subscribe.